Hey, hello everybody. Hey, the purpose of this video is I want to go over how to adjust the aerodynamics of a 2022 Porsche 911 GT3, both on the front and also the wing, and also discuss the importance of doing it correctly to make sure that the car is properly balanced for the track. And I'm heading to the track tomorrow. I decided to adjust it to its maximum downforce position and just compare it to my previous track times at my local track. The first thing that you're going to need is the race circuit manual. I call it the track manual, but it comes with your owner's manual. It's just a very small pamphlet. And then on page 6 and 7 of the manual shows you how to adjust the rear wing as well as the front diffuser. They call it the front diffuser in Porsche's manual. That's how I'm going to refer to it as. And some people call it just the front spoiler, the front aerodynamics, etc. But we'll call it the proper name. The tools that you're going to need for the front diffuser is a T25 Torx bit, and for the rear wing you need a T30 Torx, and also a ratchet, and you also need a torque wrench. You might not need a torque wrench. I'm pretty anal with doing things correctly, but you can see what the torque specs are. 6 foot-pounds for the rear wing and 1.5 foot-pounds on the front diffuser. So you have to have a torque wrench that goes in those ranges, and of course I've got one in inch-pounds, but I just do a conversion, and it's pretty straightforward. There are 4 positions for the rear wing. You can see them on this this chart right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're labeled, and then on the front diffuser, there's the left and a right one. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. The car comes delivered with the aerodynamics in the factory setting, which is the lowest lift position, and that's position 1. Now it doesn't tell you it's position 1, 2, or 3, or 4. You can do that by figuring it out. And then there's the 4 positions on the front diffuser, and of course there's a left and a right one. Now they do tell you for the Touring not to make any adjustments. That makes complete sense because the Touring doesn't have an adjustable wing. It's all automatic for the spoiler. And so that also implies that you have the exact same front diffusers and that it is adjustable, but they tell you not to do it. A couple other things that I think are important is that you really have to balance the front diffuser adjustments with the rear wing, because otherwise the car will become unbalanced when the car approaches its limits at a higher speed. So for example, if you put a maximum downforce on the rear wing without adjusting the front, then the car becomes a little bit lighter in the front, and you'll end up having understeer on a track. Now, of course, you're not going to recognize that understeer unless you're pushing the car to its limits, but you really need to make sure that they are balanced between the front and the rear. Yeah, the first thing I want to do is show you what it looks like removed. Now, you don't have to remove these to adjust it. You just need to loosen up the screws and then slide the diffuser up a little bit. But what's interesting is you can see the 4 positions. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's also another position here, which is rather interesting. Now, that's not mentioned in my manual at all, why there's another position. And of course, you can see there's a circle there just perfect for the head of the screw that comes with it. And it turns out, I believe that is for the Touring, so that you can adjust it, and that's where the Touring is. Now, that makes sense because that's the position which provides even less downforce in the front. And of course, to balance it with the rear of a Touring GT3, you would want less downforce in the front to match the rear. So that's almost certain what that is. I don't have a Touring to verify that. So let's go to the front diffuser up here. And now my car's up on a lift right now, but you can do it at the track. It's pretty simple. It only takes about a minute or so, but you can see it, the diffuser right there. That's not really in focus right there. Let me move in. There you go. It's better focus there. And you can see the positions that are in there. There's a top one. It's just a hole. And then there's position 1, 2, 3, and 4. So when you go to the high downforce mode, this actually slides up, and I'll show you on the other side. It slides all the way up into there. And it's kind of counterintuitive when you first looked at it. In fact, initially I thought it was wrong because the factory said it's set at the lowest downforce position, and it looked like it was in an intermediate position, but I believe that position is for the Touring. So it's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So let's go over to the other side and I'll show you how to adjust it. Now this side is already removed, and again, you don't have to remove the diffuser, but basically just, let me get that up there. See, it just slides up. That is in the lowest downforce position. And then the Touring is probably all the way down there, and then position 1 for wing GT3 is right there. Now the other aspect that is interesting when you put it in the high downforce position, which is there, is your duct cooling for the brakes is better because you have better airflow through it. And it even says that in the manual. So that's just the ancillary benefit associated with it going in the high downforce mode. Anyway, very simple to do. 2 screws, adjust it and push it all the way out. Also wanted to show you what it looks like retracted. It looks really good, really smooth. And we'll see how it rolls. Again, now adjusting the rear wing to its maximum downforce position. It's not rocket science at all. It's 4 bolts. It swivels on this rear bolt, and then you can see the 4 different positions here. It's in position 1, which is the factory setting, and the maximum downforce is position 4. And I just put some tape here just so I don't harm the paint at all with my ratchet. But again, it's pretty straightforward. Just take these off and make the adjustments. Now to tighten these, obviously Porsche gives you a torque specification of 6 foot-pounds or 8 Newton meters. I had to convert foot-pounds into inch-pounds because of the settings of my torque wrench, but I have everything set up. Everybody knows how to use a torque wrench probably. It's already set. There we go. I had already tightened it. So this is what it looks like in the regular position, the minimum downforce, and then I'll make the adjustment and show you what it looks like afterwards. So this is what the wing looks like in its maximum downforce position, maximum angle of attack. So a fairly noticeable change when you do that. The other thing I wanted to mention that was in the manual is that Porsche tells you not to drive on public roads in the maximum downforce position for the wing and the front diffuser. And I suppose the reason for that is it limits your visibility just a little bit more with the wing in this position. Not much more, but I can only surmise that's the reason why they said that. So there's a picture of the wing in the rearview mirror in its maximum downforce position, just to show you what the visibility looks like in the rear there. And here's the same view with the wing restored back to its factory settings in position 1. So to me, it's not that big of a difference, at least looking at it in the rearview mirror. So the real question is, does it have an impact on the track when you make these adjustments to the high downforce position? And the truth is, I'm not 100% sure. I definitely did not feel it, but I'm not that good of a driver, so I probably can't detect those small differences. However, when I look at the data, my lap times improved significantly. I was putting down about 2 minutes and 9 seconds consistently before, and now I'm putting down 2 minutes and 5 seconds on this track. It's a 4-second improvement. That's pretty significant. And I think partially is because I'm braking later and getting a little bit more confident with the car and the track that I'm on. But I also think the downforce is helping me quite a bit. Also, my top speed was higher by about 5 miles per hour on the straightaway, which means I was probably carrying more speed on the entry turn. And then also on the, I was also braking later too. So that all contributed to my improved performance. The G-forces were also higher by about 0.04. So overall, I do think it matters. I'm just not sure if that contributed to the 4-second improvement on a 2-minute track. Anyway, I hope this helps people, and have a great day.